Looks like Beastie Boy Marnham's got the snap going into turn number 1. It's Josh Marnham, national winner. Last weekend at Peckham. Here he comes down the second straight with Luca Mansi giving chase. Toby Maynard there. Tom Whittaker, Jack Williams, the order. As they're about to go into turn number 2, Marnham still has it. From Mansi there in the second, Maynard in 2, Whittaker in 3, Wiggins in 5. So coming into the last turn now, Josh Marnham still has it. And coming down the last straight now, it's Josh Marnham for Hurston. Out there in front, he's going to take it. Luca Mansi in second. Toby Maynard gets third. Thomas for 4, Jack Wiggins in 5. As the next Racket Junior Cruiser next neck and neck. Down the second straight between Theo Pope. Looks like Max Spears going up the inside there. He's there in the 2 spot. Back in the 3 is the 691 of Zach Rendell Todd. Then we got Luke Terry and Amber Shepherd back in 5. Coming down the last straight now, it looks like it's going to be a close one. 3-2 for Theo Pope. Number 6, Max Spears coming through on the line. It's close. Well, Zach Rendell Todd there getting the third, but a great battle there between Max Spears and Theo Pope. As Anita Wong leads them out in the 30-plus ladies cruisers. In behind in the 2, the 878 of Bethany Fletcher. Sue Farahone in there with Tabitha Rendell back after injury. Good to see Nicola Kennard in there as well. There's our Carolyn Pantlin in there in the 6th, and now we got another close finish. Looks like Bethany Fletcher coming through to take it from Anita Wong. Tabitha Rendell almost together there for 3rd. Nicola Kennard was next, and Carolyn Pantlin is the next rack of 30-plus ladies cruisers. And who's out there in front? Looks like Drew Kendall. It is leading. Kim Batsford is there in the 2. Helen Biggs in 3. Ali Morgan in there in 4. Coming down that last straight now, Boo Kendall is still there leading it from Kim Batsford in the 2. Helen Biggs is next, and then we've got Ali Morgan and the 006 of Chloe Painter and Sharon Watts in there for Bristol in 6th place. First rack, full gate open cruiser. Looks like Stephen Hassel goes into the first turn there, out in front. Stephen Hassel is out there in second. Mr. Dar, Mike Wong is there in the 2 spot with Ben Maynard back in 3. Paul Terry's in 4. They've all got to go some to catch Stephen Hassel. He's out there in front. Mike Wong is there in the 2. Paul Terry and Ben Maynard battling it out for 3, and they're almost coming up there with Mike Wong. Battling out now for second, but Stephen Hassel has it, and Paul Terry in the battle for the second spot with Ben Maynard back in 4. As here we go, next round open cruiser. This is moto number 6. And it's 615 for the Army. A.D. Rumsey for Andover out there in front. Good to see A.D. back racing in the south. And he's out there in front of the minute. There we've got the 476 of Dave Williams there in the 2. The 589 is next, so Cliff Price. And Shell Eaton goes in there as well. So a 3-way battle for the second spot. Open cruiser, here we go once again. Moto number 7 this afternoon. And it looks like Ben Fermor is the man out there in front at the minute. Oh! Darren Boughton and coming down, and Gary Willax, his teammate, goes right over the top of him while battling for second. So that leaves the 24, Matt Griffin. He's there in the 2. But Fermor it is, he's going to take it. Grifter's going to get the 2, the 325. Matt Pickering is next. So here we go, the open cruiser. This is moto number 8, and it's Gregory Reed there for the Rockets out there in front. Gospel in 2. That's Andy Williams and Jim Craig in there as well. Oh, we've got another multiple crash there on the second straight. in exactly the same place we had the last one, and it looks like Ryder's down there still, so that's bad news. So it's Gregory Reed out there in front, Williams is there in the 2, Craig is in 3, Pritchard is there in the 4, and that's how it's finished. And 932 is next, that's Miles Gould's Pocket Rockets, the 6 and unders upcoming. Charlie Keith, Luke Wilcox, Austin Trowbridge, Reed Hughes, Heath Buchan, Sonny Khan, Rocco Somerville, Callum Burma. Here we go then, moto number 9, the 6 and unders. And it's Sonny Khan out there for Peckham, then the 14-2 of Rocco Somerville. Those are the first 2 as they'll disappear into the first berm and come back into view. Sonny Carter is out there in front. Rocco Somerville in there for Bristol in 2. 799. Luke Wilcox in 3. Reed Hughes is up in the 4. Now about to go up the inside. So Luke Wilcox holding on to that 3rd place. They're still out there in front. Sonny Card for Peckham. Here he comes, coming past me now in the last race. Sonny Card, he's going to take it. Rocco Somerville in 2. Peckham looking strong in this one. Davin and Gatchu is out there in front. So it's Davin out there in front. Danny Stevens is up in the 2. 185, Darren Busbridge. He's there in the 3 spot. All the 7s, Charlie Poulter from right here in Andover in the 4. They're coming past me now. Davin it is out there in front. Danny Stevens in 2. Darren Busbridge in 3. Charlie Poulter in 4. Then the 5 of Zach Avery. 199 is next. Harry Keats. Then it looks like Ben Longley behind him. So Davino out there in front. Davino in and Gatchu. He's going to take the win. Stevens in 2. Busbridge in 3. So the next rack for the 6 and unders. Who's out there in front? Finn Phillips battling it out there with the 220 on Kai Blaine. And it's Kai Blaine for Andover. He's going to get a right earful on that next turn because there's fan club are waiting for him there at the Andover gazebos. He's playing out there in front. Phillips is there in the 2. Gap back then to Dubman in 3. 033 is next. Finley Collis. Matilda Leake is in there in the 5. But it's Kai Blaine still out there in front. Here comes Finn Phillips for one last go. But Kai Blaine it is. He's going to hang on. Phillips is going to get the 2. Dubman in 3. Matilda Leake next. 7-year-olds now on the gate. Elsa Reynolds Todd and 0-1 leading the boys at the minute. Harry Elliott for Andover is there in the 2. In the 3, the TNT. That looks like the 7-6 for 9-1 I should say. James Trowbridge. Then 2-5-6 Will Pickering. He's next. Looks like Henry Eyre in there for the Southwest. Back in 5. There's Elsa Reynolds Todd being down pressed by Harry Elliott. But Elsa's hanging on. Harry's going to get the 2. James Trowbridge gets the 3. 7-year-olds once again. Moto number 13. Who's out there in front? This one is Carl Summerfield. Andover again out there in front. 580. Daniel McDonough. There for Ken. There in the 2 spot. So in behind him, Charlie Granger in the 3. Then there's the 800 in 4. Who's that? Ryan Middleton, Andover again in 4 spot and in 5th as well. So Summerfield it is, going to take it for Andover with McDermott there in the 2 spot. 7-year-olds once again, this is moto number 14. It's like Harrison Davis is the man out there in front. Come on, go. There's like Carl Nelson, I think that is there in the 3 it is. But Harrison Davis it is out there in front. Copeland though coming back at him there, the Southwest rider from Bristol. Going the long way around on the outside and Copeland takes the lead. Davis is there in the 2. Longley is in 3. Stefanovs is there in the 4. And that's how it's going to finish. Copeland takes it. Davis, Nelson and Stefanovs gets the 4s. The girls 7 and 8-year-olds. Now on the track. I think that's Lucy Simpson. Been looking strong this year for Gosport BMX. Out there in front of this one. 3-way battle going on for 3rd spot. 217. Zara Harris is there in the 2. who's come out of that scrap. It looks like Lacey Baird. She's there in the 3 spot with Amelia Ward. Amelia Harden Taylor and Lucy Gardner representing 6 and unders in this race, and Lucy Simpson it is taking the win in that one for the 8-year-olds in moto number 16, and it's my man out there from Peckham, Pistol Patton out there in front from Joshua Peddle there in the 2 by the looks of things. So Josh Peddle there in the 2. Lewis Longley is out in the 3. Sam Perry Ogden in 4, but it's like Lorenz is out there in front. And they're going to have a job to catch him from there, already into the final straight. Lorenz Patton's going to grab the win. Joshua Peddle's going to get the 2. Lewis Longley in the 3. The scrap is on for 4. Looks like Miller Hughes coming through the pack there to maybe collar or maybe not. But it's the 8-year-olds now up again. It is the number 12, Arne Simon out there in sorry, it isn't. It's Lucas Ellis out there in front in the 10 plate as they come back towards me now. So Ellis is out there in front. 008 I assume is Ollie O'Brien there for TNT. And then it looks like Arne Simon for Andover back in 3rd. Also coming through there for the Southwest, it looks like Ashton Somerville. But coming through, your winner of this one, Lucas Ellis. And Arne Simon coming through for the 2 ahead of Ollie O'Brien, moto number 18. And it looks like Oak Buchan is out there in front for next week's host club, Merton Saints. And Merton have got 1st and 3rd with Nathan Dywell Wilson out there in the 2 spot. And Otis Miller coming through there. He's there in the 3rd. I'm going to go at the inside of Nathan. But it's Oak Buchan out there in front. Nathan's going to get the 2. And the 644, Otis Miller going to get the 3. Moto 19 now. Looks like Lucy Hutt's got the lead position in this one. I'm moving up there, Merton again. Looks like Leo Kirpinen there on the 818. Yes, it is there in the 2 spot with the 8, all the 6s of Oscar Alvarez. Alvarez there, I should say, for Peckham. Looks like Lucy Hutt. Who's going to take this one? Kirpinen's going to get the 2. Close for 3. Moto number 20, who's out there in front in this one. Looks like Billy Brown, who's had to come from the wide outside in this one. Come through Taylor Lee. Harry McCann in there for TNT there in the 2. So Brownie is your leader. McCann is there in the 2. 257, Tyler White is next. 941 coming through, Bailey Miller. For Merton, Max Davis in there for Greenwich in 5. Oh, Billy Brown has gone wrong on the last turn, and that lets in Harry McCann. And Harry McCann has come through to take the win. They've all gone past Billy Brown now. Bailey Miller getting the 3rd. Billy Brown just went into 4. Oh, one rider goes down there. Oliver Elliott there for Andover. He's up quickly. Casey Markley is out there in front. Josh DePries is there in the 2. So it's Markley out there in front, coming down that final straight now. DePries is going to get the 2. Alfie Norris is there in the 3. 142. Sasha D'Souza there is next. That 2nd straight is causing some damage. Adam Sweetman as well. Adam's up okay. So moto number 22, the 9-year-olds once again out there in front. It looks like the number 14 of Miller Gonzalez there for Bristol. Out there in front, Oscar Simpson is there in the 2. So Gonzalez it is out there in front. Ned Penny in there for Bristol moving through into 2. Simpson is there in the 3. Oh, we've got a rider down there. So out there in front, the 6.2 of Ned Penny has come through to take the win. Simpson's going to get the 2. Gonzalez it was who come down, and he's up. Milo Gonzalez, he's up okay. And out there in front in moto number 23, it's more from the 9-year-olds. And it is 575, Ethan Ashton. 457, Ben Davey is next. Then Brandon Champion in there for Knightwood in the 3. Coming back towards me now. It's Ethan Ashton there for Bristol. Here comes Ben Davey though with one last glove challenge. And Ben Davey might just come and got there. And we've got more for the girls now, the 9 to 10 year olds in moto number 24. And it's Mia Farrow out there in front for the Southwest. From Tegan Jacobs in there for Peckham. There's Mia Farrow out there in front. Tegan Jacobs there in the 2. 486, Mia Jacobs is there in the 3. Samantha Baird is there in the 4 for Knightwood. Just being overtaken now by 564, Shani Harris Sherwood. We're coming through the table with Mia Farrow, under 10-year-olds once again. Good to see 2 gates for this group. And it was over number 18. Oh,
come on, move!
18X, that's Grace Campbell out there for Gospel. So it's 18X, Grace Campbell you need, a 2X, Amber Shepherd in there as well. Lily Adams, I think that is there in the 3, yes it is. So it's Grace Campbell's going to take it. So Super Cruiser now, already on the track. There's your 24 plate out there in front, Anthony Howes leading it from 753, Mario Berno in there in the 2. Right back towards it now, Howes it is out there in front, Berno in 2, Mead in 3. And Rob One Para coming through for 4. So we're going down more for the Super Cruiser. John Moore looked like he got off to a good start, and here he comes. There's John Moore out there in front, battles on for the 2 spot. Nick Priest, I can see him there on the 14 plate. Who's there going masking? That might be Will Smith. It is, it's Smith there now going after John Moore down that 3rd straight. John Moore it is, still holding on, but here comes Will Smith. This one's going to be close as they come back towards the finish line now, and it's close on the line. There's a battle going on for the lead in this one. It's the 10-year-olds, moto number 28. And it's Lucas Craig now coming through from Niall Kennard. And Max Avery in the mix as well. And Max Avery has now come through to take the second. He's going after Lucas Craig. As Craig is hanging on because Max Avery's coming through. And it's close again on the line. Cameras out on the finish line. I've sorted some of these out because some of these finishes are tight. Rowan Barnes leads out moto number 29 in the 10-year-olds, but not far away. Looks like Carl Fox Johnson on the 24, and the 46, Sam Lewis, is also in the mix there. He's trying to improve, but out there in front, it is still Rowan Barnes, but here comes Carl Fox Johnson. It's going to be another close one, is it? So moto number 30 now on track. 13, Geordie Hart. Now they're in front. Back in action, Brandover. Then we've got the number 11, Luca Thurlow. Lenny Cheeseman out there in front. Holden Nisco there coming through. And George Flory in there as well. And Charlie Black in fourth. Neck down the second straight. It's James out there in front for Peckham, Marlon in there for Hurston. Those are the first two. 657, Morgan Cherniska. He's there, and the 45 is Zach Rendell top back in the 4. So coming down the final straight now, Boyd Marlon, Caden James. Coming down the final straight, Caden James just has the edge at the minute and hangs on. That's again the 11 and 12-year-olds now. Track PB Gaynor out there in front for Hackney. Roxy Hinton is out there in the 2 spot, 670 it is. And then the 3.2, Aggie Harrison of Bristol. And Abby Winwood in there for Bournemouth.
And then on this straight, pedal wheelie down
Coming down the final straight, Phoebe Gaynor it is. It looks like she's going to come across the line, take the win. Roxy Henson going to get the 2. Aggie Harrison gets the 3. And Abby Winwood will get 4. 12-year-olds in this one. And it is Josh Martin this time out there in front from 24's Zach Shield. And Ellie Junker moving up through the field. There's Josh Martin out there in front. He's going to take it, Zach Shield and Ellie Junker close. Moto 37. Also 6.2. Then we got the 48, Ty Solomon. So 6.2, Sam Penny out there in front. 48 is next, Ty Solomon. Luca Mancy is next, and then the gap back then to Jack Wiggins in 4. Sam Penny is there for Bristol. Coming across the line. 13-year-olds now, Matt Hart in there with Jack Bodman, and it's Bodman out there in front. Hartley's there in the 2. We've got a good line-up in this one. Emily Arena is in there. Ben Curlin is in there as well. So the quality is there in this one. Travis Wilson, another big name here in the south in 4. But as they go down the 3rd straight now.
Come on, Matt!
And it is...
Come on, Matt! Oh, yes, come on, Matt!
Matt Hutt coming through. Jack Bodman in 2nd. Emily Arena next. And here we go. With Ethan Craig and Evan Watson battling it out. And it's Evan Watson just has the lead. Ethan Craig there in the 2. So it's Watson and Craig battling it out still, almost neck and neck. Craig trying to dive up the inside. Watson still there. So Evan Watson it is out there in front. Ethan Craig in 2. Reece Spelling is back in the 3. We're coming down that final straight now. Has Ethan Craig got one last straight up his sleeve? He may have. But Evan Watson and Ethan Craig are almost together as Reece Spelling there ended up with the 3. Moto 41, the 13-year-olds once again. There's James Campbell out there with this one. Oscar Ricketts there in the 2. So it's Campbell out there in front, Ricketts in the 2. Starkey's there in the 3. Samuel Hagen 4. Coming across the line now. Campbell, James Campbell, you winner. Carroll's going berserk behind the ear. It looks like Josh is doing well, and he is. Josh Werner out there in front. Going in 2nd place, Sebastian Patton in there in the 2 spot. Broden Howarth in there in the 3. Well, Josh Werner it is. Mum will be pleased here. Down the final straight. Josh will take it from his 2nd place. Sebastian Patton and Broden Howarth gets the 3rd. The girls 13 and 14-year-olds from Moto 43. Izzy Pope leading this one out. From Alice Barnett there in the 2 spot. Chloe Long is up in the 3. Moving through. Who else we got in there? He's up in 4. 21. Darcy Mears for Andover. And Charlotte Davis for Bristol in 5. Izzy Pope, though, a long way clear here. She's going to take the win. Alice Barnett is going to get the 2, I think. Unless Chloe Long. No, Alice Barnett hangs on. Chloe Long gets the 2. And another group for the 13 and 14-year-old girls down Moto 44. And this time it looks like Miriam Peel there for Merton. Out there in front, Amy Willax is there in the 2. Willow Kirkman is there in the 3. And Macy Hinton in there as well in 4. Going well. So 7-6-3, Miriam Peel out there in front is going to take the win. Amy Willax is going to get the 2. Willow Kirkman in 3. Then we go to the 14-year-olds, Finley Mead. This boy is quick. He's out there in front, followed by the 415 next of Charlie Roast. So Finley Mead it is out there in front. Charlie Roast is there in the 2. Jacob Edwards finishes 3. Then Jason Daly. Moto 46, 14-year-olds once again. 4.2 on the plate. Max Penny is out there in front. So it's Max Penny out there in front. Nathan Tongatong, he's there in the 2. Louis Edwards in 3. Kevin Sharp in 4. Nathan Rogers, I think that is in 5. Going through though, Max Penny for the Southwest. Tongatong gets the 2. Edwards in 3. For Moto 47 now for the 15-year-olds. 5-6-1, Jordan Halsey Horton though. Around the outside, here he comes. Looks like Rossdale is that. It's Rossdale now who's got the lead. 5-61, Jordan Halsey Horton. Looks like Meshach Malone, that's got to be there with the hair flowing out of that crash helmet. He's there in the 3. Here comes the number 13, Kirat Samwang, though, coming through. Meshach Malone settles for the 4. Rossdale, though, ends up with the win. So 40. This is the 48th moto this afternoon. 15-year-olds once again. Reece Deans. Same applies to him as I said about Finley Mead. Reece Deans is lightning quick. Connor Hedges is in there behind on the 0-1. There's Reece Deans out there in front. Hedges is there in the 2, battling it out with Lewis Giles. And also in there, Logan Dixon. Lloyd Freeman back in the 5. He's got more of the girls' groups now. This is the 15 and 16-year-olds now. It looks like it's that Chloe Farah out there in front from Megan Doohig there in the 2. So Chloe Farah out there in front, Megan Doohig in the 2. Just see that he's in the 3. Sky Norris in there for Peckham. 3-2-5, Chloe Vine is next. Ellen Catford in there as well. And Lily Waters for Merton Saints back in the 6. And Megan Doohig has now got herself in front. And she's going to take the win. And Chloe Farah getting the 2. Sky Norris with 3. 16-year-olds now. 5, Jack Gordon stables on his home track. He's out there in front, but who's in behind trying to challenge the queuing up in behind Jack? It's Mitch Bomroff in there in the 2. And then Joe Brewer's up in the 3. Raymond Davis in 4. Cat Davison in 5. There's Jack Gordon Stables even. He's going to take the win. So Joe Brewer got the 3, followed by Raymond Davis and Katura Davison next. 17 to 29-year-olds, here we go. Nathan Bernice is your leader in this one. Ewan Stark is in there as well. There's Nathan Bernice out there in front. Ewan Stark is there in the 2. Ben Plowman there in the 3. Darryl Tate in 4. And Owen Doohig in the 6. 17 to 29-year-olds once again. Here we go. And there's Brendy Savage out there in front from the number 17, Reece Trotter. 39 is next, Barney Priest. So it is Brendy Savage out there in front. Trotter's there in the 2. Barney Priest in 3. So here we go. Across the line here comes Brendy Savage and Reece Trotter now coming through. Brendy Savage and Reece Trotter in a close finish there. Not quite sure who got it. Moto 53. Now, we've got double takeout there on the second straight. It's Lee Sweetland, the Southwest number 1 out there in front. And it looks like he's going to take this one. 606 Adam Foskett, he's going to get the 2. Tom Harrison in the 3. Give him a